what do we share. Now, to get a better understanding of business models, I'm going to introduce Ed Lehue from SBDC, and he's going to lead you through the business model canvas.
Thanks, Alan. Yeah, we at SBDC, we actually do a whole series on this business model canvas. So for today, I just want to give you kind of a quick, if you want to go to the next slide, just kind of a quick overview of what the business model canvas looks like. The 4 boxes on the left-hand side are really more around what are the activities and structure and partners that you're going to do internally. And the 5 boxes on the right side are really more think of external. And today we're going to really focus, as Alan talked about, is the value proposition. What really is that value that your business is bringing to that customer? The way I think about this is there's really kind of 3 elements to the value proposition. The first one is really jobs to be done. So what is the customer really trying to accomplish? One of the simple things that we like to describe at SBDC is you think about something as simple as getting a taxi cab. At one time, you had to actually hail down a taxi, or you had to actually get a phone book and call them. Well, now we have things like Uber and Lyft with an app. So if you think about those examples, they're just looking for a ride safely, affordable. They have to do certain jobs. They have to call the taxi, find a taxi, give directions, and even paying. And as this starts to move more to apps and to online, that's changing. So the best way to describe those jobs are things that the customer's trying to get done in their work or their life, a customer task they're trying to perform or complete, problems they're trying to solve, needs that they have that hopefully your business can satisfy. And within those jobs, then what you're offering really is how does your goods or services help with their pains? Pains are around things that annoy them before, during, or after completing a job. And this, to Alan's point, this is changing as we go more and more to online. Some of that actually may happen all during the same experience, where before it was, thinking about it, going to the store, and then dealing with the product later. Sometimes that happens all in one transaction, especially in the app world. And the risk of a bad outcome is also getting that job done badly is also a pain. An example in the environment we talked about with the taxi cab. So a pain might be waiting a long time for the cab. If you remember when you used to call a cab, you weren't quite sure when they were going to come. You were concerned about getting overcharged for the taxi. You were worried about would the driver maybe be unsafe, especially in a big city. So those are kind of some examples of pains. And then in the gains side are outcomes and benefits your customers want. Some of those are basic and required and expected, and then some are kind of going beyond expectations, more of a surprise. Gains might be function utility, but also I like to think of gains in terms of, I don't know if you ever heard of EFG. So why people buy things are ego, fear, greed, or hope. So hopefully your product or service hits one of those 4 things in terms of gains. But back on our Uber example, the gain is I know it's going to arrive on time. I can track taxi as he's coming to my spot. We've actually agreed on an exact pinpoint spot that I can do that. I know I'm going to get a fair price. I already know the price before I even get the service. I know I'm going to probably get a professional driver, and the payment system's much easier. So you can see that's an example where they've understood the pains and the gains around that job to be formed and how they're going to fill that. So what we want to do right now is do a quick breakout session. I want you to take 2 minutes by yourself, and I want you to just think of your customer, think of one segment, and I want you to think of the number 1 job that they're trying to perform. And then I want you to list out 2 pains that your product or your service either reduces or eliminates as it relates to that customer's job. And then I want you to identify 2 gains that your product or service provides as it relates to that customer's job. Then when we go into breakouts, take about 30 seconds and share with the other folks in your group. I think we're going to have groups of about 5 or 6. And then just take about 30 seconds. Don't take too long. And then get feedback on that. We got a total of 5 minutes, I believe, for the total discussion.